Waheshimiwa wabunge, kuna msemo unaosema unaweza kuchagua rafiki, jirani unapatiwa na Mungu. It is this enduring foundation of shared history, shared sacrifice, and shared purpose that finds expression in the ties that bind Tanzania and Kenya today. Waheshimiwa, we share a border that stretches nearly 800 kilometers from the Indian Ocean at Lungalunga and Horohoro, along Kilimanjaro, across the Masai Mara and Serengeti to Lake Victoria. That boundary is not merely a line on the map. It binds our destinies as a vibrant corridor of trade, culture, and human connection, where goods, ideas, and people flow, reminding us that our progress and our setbacks are intertwined. We share a language, Kiswahili, spoken by over 100 million people across East Africa, making it one of the most widely spoken African languages and a powerful unifying force across our borders. We share communities such as the Maasai and the Kuria, whose lives straddle our boundaries, families that intermarry, traders who cross daily, and entrepreneurs whose success depends on seamless movement of goods and services. And in my delegation, I have two governors from Narok and from Kajiado who have family across the border in Tanzania. But perhaps the most powerful illustration of our unity is found in nature itself. Each year, during the Great Wildebeest Migration, millions of animals move freely between the Serengeti and Masai Mara, guided not by borders, but by survival. They do not stop at borders. They simply cross and return. What nature has made seamless, policy must not make it difficult. Honorable members, it is not lost on me that we are engaged in this important conversation nearly 4 decades after the collapse of the East African community in 1997. We must reflect honestly on lessons we cannot afford to repeat. The collapse of the community in 1997 was not, at its core, a clash of ideologies. Whether capitalism in Kenya or ujamaa in Tanzania, each system sought to advance the welfare of the people. But governance, national or regional, is ultimately judged by its ability to deliver opportunity, equity, and prosperity. Where it does not, mistrust and division emerge. Our failure was not in building a shared economic vision that worked for all, and in retreating into narrow national interests instead of treating our shared resources, infrastructure, and markets as joint strategic assets for collective benefit by all our people. That was not their failure alone. It becomes our failure today if we repeat it. And so we must ask ourselves honestly, are we moving forward together, or are we risking becoming victims of the same limiting forces? Are we already repeating mistakes of the past? Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the time has come for our generation to move beyond incremental progress towards decisive integration. Because our biggest barrier is not infrastructure or policy. It is the quiet mistrust that pervades our relations. That suspicion has cost us time, opportunity, and prosperity, and we can no longer afford it. Tuko na maadui wengi, ndugu wa Tanzania, ndugu wa Kenya. Tuko na maadui wengi. Maadui wetu sio wa Kenya. Maadui wetu sio wa Tanzania. Maadui wetu ni ukosefu wa kazi na umaskini. Wacha nirudie. Ndugu wa Tanzania, wa Kenya wenzangu, maadui wetu sio wa Tanzania ama wa Kenya. Maadui wetu ni kukosa ajira, umaskini na kukosa maendeleo. Kenya and Tanzania are deeply interdependent. Our bilateral trade reached approximately $860 million in 2025, and we are on course to hitting $1 billion this year, a reflection of growing opportunity. But this is only a fraction of what is possible. Investment cooperation stands as a central pillar of our bilateral relations. Kenyan enterprises have invested more than $1.7 billion in Tanzania, creating jobs, advancing skills transfer, and strengthening local capacity across key sectors, including manufacturing, energy, logistics, financial services, and agriculture. Makampuni za Kenya hapa Tanzania zimeegeza bilioni 1.7 ya Kimarekani humu Tanzania. At the same time, Tanzanian investments in Kenya, now valued at US dollars 336 million, are steadily expanding, driving employment, deepening cooperation linkages, and fostering shared growth. Makampuni za kutoka humu Tanzania wanaegeza kwetu Kenya. Kampuni ya Taifa Gas kwa mfano imeegeza kule Kenya. Kampuni ya Amsons wameegeza kule Kenya. Makampuni ya Lake Gas imeegeza kule Kenya. And these are companies that have invested in just the last 3 years. Miaka mitatu peke yake iliyopita. With recent strategic investments from Tanzanian investors in Kenya, I expect this value of investments to more than double by the end of this year.
Al-Bashir TV, dunia na Afrika kwa lugha yetu.